Well, it looks like there's a new king in town. The top rated character in Japan now is Onion Knight, and this guy is just taking over everything. Um, if you don't know, he's also been recently released in Final Fantasy Record Keeper, and he's arguably one of the best, if not the best, character in that game as well. He has a crazy burst soul break and everything, and he's basically able to use everything. Tons of different abilities, tons of different weapon choices and equipment choices. The only quirk for him, at least in Record Keeper, and as far as I understand in the original game as well, he is kind of weak, stat-wise at least, until way late. Like he has to get to like level 93, 94 before he even starts becoming strong. I don't know if that's the case here in Brave Exvius as well. But the fact of the matter is, as you can see, he stands alone at a 99 rating, and he finally knocked Orlandu off the throne. So what makes him so good? Well, you're going to see the translation is a little bit iffy, and it's a little bit tricky to decipher what exactly they mean here. But yeah, let's try to figure out what this is. I'm sure some of you kind of already know because you do play Japan and all that stuff and you keep up with that, but I don't. So onion slice. Alright, so already he has a 400% physical attack to one enemy. That's a really good single target attack. Dual wield, looks like he has native dual wield. I love, wow, level 1, 5 stars. I think that's the regular dual wield that we know. I don't know what all this stuff is talking about, but if that's the case, then that's really good. Yeah, I guess he's kind of a quick starter in this version of the game. Disable the darkness, paralysis, petrochemical. I guess that's some kind of status ailment protection or something like that. Now this is kind of where his bread and butter comes in, all these shrine abilities. So it looks like he does, for Shrine of Wind, it looks like he does 380% physical damage, which is a 3.8 multiplier. And it also gives your party resistance to earth attacks, or I guess they're calling it soil here, by 70%. So there's a lot of these kinds of shine, not shrine. These abilities that kind of, have dual effects. They do damage and they give you resistance. Blessings of Crystal. This looks like it increases your limit burst, I guess. Shine of Water. Same thing, it does water damage and increases your party's resistance to water. To fire. It's late over here. And Radiance of Fire, kind of the inverse of that. It's fire damage and gives you water resistance. So, I mean, I don't know the Japanese meta, but I'm sure there's a lot of elemental type attacks and things like that that you need to deal with. So the fact that it's doing so much damage and giving you your party resistance is pretty sick turn efficiency there. Auto limit. Okay, so he's basically getting a lot of limit bursts constantly, it looks like. Damage to all enemies. This is a really nice AoE attack, 2.2 multiplier, stronger than anything we have in global right now, except for Gilgamesh. Auto refresh. Secret of the Sword. Wow, he gets 50% attack power when he's equipped with the sword. That's a lot. And then it looks like he gets a whole bunch of passives to his stats at level 90 and 95, which is kind of, what I was talking about, where his stats are really bad until really late. So maybe that's how they did it here. 30% HP, MP, and wow, another 30% to attack. So that's 80% so far. And then there's a Shine of Soil, which is basically earth damage and gives you resistance to wind. Guidance of the Light. Looks like it's giving you resistance to a bunch of elements at once. I don't know why that's a level 100 ability. I mean, that sounds a lot like something we already have, like Cloud of Darkness or even Tillith. So maybe that's, maybe I'm reading that wrong. Maybe it's a bad translation. I'm not sure. and then Undead Killer, which is another passive. So if he's attacking undead enemies, he has this 50% passive plus all the attack passives that he already has. And he has a crazy amount of equipment selection, and his Trust Mastery is a sword that is 135 attack. So anyway, he is the new king in Japan in Brave Exvius, and he's probably one of the kings in Record Keeper. And speaking of Record Keeper, I am going to pull for him, kind of like a last-ditch effort, I guess. If I don't get him, then I might consider buying some gems, but hopefully it doesn't come to that. But yeah, I'm gonna pull for him in just I don't know, in an hour or so. So I'll be back with that video. Just wanted to talk about Onion Knight because he's just kind of taking over everything. And yeah, looking forward to it. It's gonna be a long time for us in global, but at least I have to play with, have him in Record Keeper to play with.